Let me finish now.
Let me learn, please.
You've been learning for how many minutes?
At the same time, you are imposing your own ideology on the Igbos. In fact, there are many Igbos that I know in the northern part of the country.
Look, if you guys want to keep listening to this nonsense, then you're not going to have any discussion.
Enough of this rubbish. Where are you landing? You've been landing in this room for so long. Please, the moderator, please take this guy out here. What kind of rubbish is he talking about? I've been sitting down here listening to this garbage. What a nonsense. Maz is okay speaking. Please take this guy out of the room. He's just talking absolute nonsense.
This is gaslighting. This is just, he just wants to talk us to death.
Modestus, do you have something you want to contribute?
Yeah, I don't mind, brother. I think he's just trying to poke fun. People know him by now. The only thing I have to contribute also, one other thing I want to say, the world is moving forward. The world is not looking backwards. People need to realize that the world is moving forward. Nigeria just launched an e-Naira, and it's not getting traction that I thought it should. I don't really know how it's going to work. I would have wanted a cattle coin that is domiciled in Nigeria, because the North Koreans, the Israelis, and the Russians, they have probably transferred more than $4 trillion by creating all manner of coins. They gave it all manner of names. And they wait for it to appreciate, and they take the money and run away. You know, and our people are the ones buying those coins. Many of our young boys are just investing in them. But when you look at the value of them, like, I don't normally look at whether it's going up or down. I look at the market cap, because that is where the value is. You know, when you look at that, I want coins to be coming out of Nigeria so that other people can buy, and then we can also get the wealth. You know, but that is by the way. People need to realize that the world is moving forward. That is the issue. There is a test case. In fact, it was a research study of how to integrate after a civil war. And the test case was the Igbos. The Igbos' integration into Nigeria after the Nigerian Civil War ended is a classic case of integration. Anybody can go and check it. We integrated in all aspects of the Nigerian economy, even where we were killed most. We have integrated. You know, many countries that have passed through civil wars never even have such integration. But we did that. So people should stop looking backwards and start looking forward. Because I always say it, the children we're having today, our forefathers never had Facebook, they never had Google, they never had YouTube. This three force is a powerful force for the development of humanity. There are so many universities online these days. You can take courses in MIT, on Coursera, on Moonpay. You can take courses from Cambridge. And that is where the world is going. And I see people looking backwards, thinking that those people carrying Odeji are the ones that are holding our future. With more in their mouth and in the villages with all those nonsense. That is not the future. The future is, in fact, somebody the other day was reduced to tears that he thought that there is end time. He said, for the way he said it, Master can bear me witness. We were in that room where he said the rapture has already happened. And I wanted to remind him that at that point, Man United was playing Chelsea. You know, so people need to be moved away from this narrative. We spent 4 years talking about cattle. The only reason Dangote has not invested in cattle is because it will probably decimate his economy of his people, of the Fulanis in the north. Because if he puts $1 billion in cattle, there will be no cattle in the south. It's as good as that. If you say, look, I'm going to put a ranch, I'm going to put $1 billion in it, and I'm going to produce that will feed the entire south and the entire country, there will be no single header. It's as simple as that. It's very, very basic as that. all these things that we are holding our future of our children on just one animal. Basically one animal. No matter how you look at it, whether they use it to collect land, whether they use it for grazing right, whether they use it to move down south, it's just one animal product. One product. Do we need to base our future on that? Sometimes I get a little bit depressed that while other worlds are thinking of how they can go to the moon and go to the skies and how we can develop stuff, and yet we are looking backwards, looking at constitution. I usually tell people here, somebody mentioned Saudi Arabia. Let me put it a little bit further. The Gulf countries, mainly I think Qatar or the other one, UAE, they were begging the British to continue ruling them as of 1982. They were begging, don't go, don't leave us on our own. As of 1982, I'm not talking about 1960s or 1970s. But look at them where they are today. Are they talking about constitution? Are they talking about other stuff? What we need to talk about, Malaysia discovered oil in the 1980s. The British fought them. They did the first exploratory wells. And they wanted to keep them the way they kept us. But they refused. They took over. They took ownership. I have one of our sisters here who from Akwa Ibom, who was talking about how his village has electricity 24 hours.
Modestus, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I can hear
No,
you.
Oh, okay.
not that loud.
Not that loud.
Not
Okay.
audible. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, I thought maybe. So what I'm trying to explain is, our people need to find a way to get capital working. The problem we have in Nigeria, which we are not discussing, if we have used enough energy to discuss how we can raise capital, common basic economics says there are four divisions of there is labor, wage, and which other one, and then capital. These other three, we have them, but we don't have capital. Today, about the e-naira, my own problem with that is our stock exchange as a whole, as a market cap, is not up to one hedge fund person manages in New York or London. How do we increase that so that we can release the productive capital that our young people need to fail and try and fail and try, that will elevate people out of poverty in that country? The biggest bank in the world is the Chinese Bank of Agriculture. The second on that list is the Chinese Bank of Industry. Their market cap is bigger than everything you can see in the West. And they were able to use that to build their economy. Our people are still talking about cow. China moved 500 million people out of poverty within a space of 15 years. 15 years. And we're still talking about stuff that doesn't matter. I want to listen to people who want to say, look, how do we do that? I looked at a study by PricewaterhouseCoopers. They said on year-end equity, on end equity in Nigerian real estate industry, it's $1 trillion. $1 trillion. But yet we have economies like Lagos being so poor that you can even compare it to any state in America that doesn't have relevant or comparative property portfolio. And our people are still talking about things that doesn't matter. I want people to begin to think about this stuff. Most of you here will be in the corridors of power. How do we put policies, just policies, one single policy can change the fate of that country? And Nigeria is a cash economy. Everything you get in Nigeria is cash. Our people don't commit suicide. Go and look at the suicide rate in the US, the suicide rate in Europe. How many people jump on the train every day? And people don't really realize that. It's in the thousands. I mean, thousands, not even 10,000, not even 20,000, not even 30,000. We're talking about thousands. We have a cash economy where everything you buy a car, you pay for it. You buy a land, you pay for it. You buy this, you pay for it. And our people are happy. They go to church, like this thing you're talking about, those. I even think of the southern religious people have thought that they can continue preaching to people who has been brainwashed. And they are not even willing to come out and tell their people the truth. If you have any minister or you have their call, you can call them on the phone. Tell them, please, that they should need to call their people to order. Any of those major people, Referendum can master 1 million people to protest about Nigeria in Lagos, and they will come out. But they pretend as if maybe they are not part of that society. Oh, it doesn't concern them. They are waiting for all of us to die and go to heaven. I want people here to begin to find a way, because we have allowed those who don't have the intellect, who cannot think, to control our political space. It's dangerous, guys. It's really, really dangerous. Revolutions. Go and study revolutions. You do want to be in Cuba, where Castro ruled them for the next 40 years because it got them independence? It was able to remove them from the claws of the US influence and everything, and he subjugated them for 40 years till he died. When he died, he handed it over to his brother. Is that what we want? So tomorrow, now, if this useless guy wants Biafra, then he will come out and say, look at how he's...
Who do you call useless guy, please?
Yes, my friend, stop talking. I'm talking something. Go and read, my friend. Go and learn.
So let him learn, right?
Go and learn. Revolutions are not people who get those revolutions, don't hand it over. Tell me any country it has happened.
I'm not timing you, but do be considerate.
Yeah, I need to round up because I don't want to hold this stuff. Because the issue is that if somebody will not give consideration to a poor masses and let them say, look, I'm going to lock you up every Monday, even if you're dying, even if you're sick, even if you need to die there. That is a recipe of what's going to happen. That's what I'm trying to explain. And people need to be mindful of that. Don't care. People need to be mindful of that. And that is how it is in every country where it has happened. That is why most of the people who fought for independence in Africa, they took over as presidents. They didn't get there because they allowed the political space to be open once it is won. The so-called freedom, once it is won, it didn't work like that. Look at Zimbabwe under Mugabe. He turned around and said, look, he wants to free himself from the claws of Britain. What happened to him today? There is not even a currency called the Zimbabwean dollar. There are half of them are in South Africa. There was no gun shot in Zimbabwe. Nobody even killed anybody. But they made sure that all of them die of starvation. And they flee their country. Look at Venezuela. They have 6 million barrels of oil per day. The biggest oil reserve in the world. Go and Google it. Today, there's no Venezuela. Half of them are all over, scattered all over Latin America as refugees. So it doesn't mean that if I have freedom, then you'll be there. It doesn't work like that, guys. There are people who own this world. Our people said, and that is how the world works. So it's for you people to really, for people here to really think about it. I don't believe in emotions and stuff like that. Look at empirical analysis. It has happened before.
But you're being emotional now.
I'm not being emotional. I'm telling you facts. You can go and check. Prove me wrong on facts, Master. Prove me wrong on facts, not innuendos.
Okay,
Tell me when it has happened.
It's been almost an extra 2 minutes now.
Okay, let me
brother,
I wish Lali they land now.
For like 2 hours.
Let me
so it's enough.
Let him land. Let him land. Mute your mic. Mute your mic. Let him land. Mute your mic.
So Abby, hold on. Abby, you weren't here. He went around in circles for like 10 minutes. 2 times. 2 times he did that. He wouldn't land. He just kept going round and round and round in circles.
Please put me on the queue, please.
Right. So we're going to
put
right
me
now.
on the queue, please.
Because I want to react to Modestus, please.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Right. So here's how we're gonna run this through. Right. Because I started it on PTR. So this person's TJ, Farah, Ukunu, Tunde, Olani, David, and Prince.
I think it should allow Potem Master respond. Let him start. If you don't, I think that would be fair.
So here's what's gonna happen with that, Mazi, is Potem Master is gonna respond. He's gonna piss off half the people. Then they're gonna want to respond to him again. Right. And that's what was happening earlier. And then people have been on stage and not gotten to speak. So that's why I'm just trying to make sure that everybody gets a chance to speak, and then we can throw open popcorn style, right? What I would do is I'll try and time people going forward so there's a little bit of control so you don't take too long. So it's like, let's say from TJ and Farah, Kunu and Tunde, right? And the other three. I also want to say in the audience, so people raised their hands. I added you, but for some reason it wouldn't bring you up. So please don't think I was ignoring you. So TJ, please go ahead. TJ, going once, twice, going. Farah, go ahead.
All right. Thank you for this opportunity. I remain Paramid. I just have just two things to talk about here. We talk about being emotion when we talk here. There's no way you will not be emotion, especially when it's in affects you or when it's in is affecting you. I just wanted to drop this thing. It's like a question, and it's going to brother. So anytime he has the chance to talk, he can answer me on that. Brother, I want you to tell me, if you can tell me, because you always talk about history and intellectual and so on about Nigeria. If you, brother, can tell me the history of this country called Nigeria, because as far as I'm concerned, Nigeria has no history. I can debate it on you. If you last more than 10 minutes, I keep saying it, I will give up on everything I'm saying. Secondly, you're talking about history. We're still on history. I don't know where you come from, whether you're Hausa, Fulani, Yoruba, Igbo, Niger Delta, whatever, but wherever you come from, if you are from Hausa, or maybe if you are campaigning for the Hausa people and Fulani people.
I think it's Fulani.
Okay, it's Fulani. Okay, if he's Fulani, if he can tell himself it's true, Hausa people were not Muslims before, originally. They were not. They were conquered by Fulanis. He's talking about history now. I'm just trying to talk about the direction he's going. Talk about history, read your history, this and that, this and that. Go and tell yourself the truth and read your history, your own history. You Fulani, where did you come from? You were not an African. You people are not an African. You people just scattered and come to Africa and they inhabit that. What are you talking about here? So if you, brother, can tell me these two things, the history of this country you called Nigeria, and if you can last 10 minutes debating that with me, I will give up on everything. That's what I just want to say.
What is your
because it's not. If you can tell me the history of Nigeria, as far as I'm concerned, Nigeria has no history. If you can tell me the history,
it might take him 30 hours. So.
How can we come and connect? How can we come and connect? It's not sure. Just to talk maths.
Sure.
So no. I'm not. Wait, I am not trying to let him talk about it here. That should maybe next time he should go and do research, do whatever. Because I know, as a prime concern, he don't have anything to tell me here. Because Nigeria has no
quite clear. Asking Nigeria has no history.
Wait, hold on.
Serious?
Mr. Hidemet, your mic is kind of really, really muffled. You might want to go out and come back in. And please,
me?
Wait. No, Mr. Ahir. I don't want to mess up his name. Ahir
All right.
I hope I'm saying it right. So far, your question to brother is not an actual question. Is it like a rhetorical question? You wanted to go and research and come back to you with that?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm all the time available. I'm all the time ready to get in debate with him. So I'm available.
Listen, brother. Listen to me. I don't tell you to answer me now. You don't have to answer me now. I gave you that as an homework. Because I know
all the time, my brother.
Listen to me, please. Stop. You know, we are here to learn. You see, that's the problem we have in Africa. We always claim we know all. You understand? We are here to learn and also to teach people what we think we know more than them. And what you think you know more than me, you can't just come and begin to impose it in me that is the truth. Because the way you mentioning Ojoku, this and that, I tell you,
okay, brother. Can I respond?
He is listening to me. Don't talk, please. Don't talk, please. You're always in a hurry to speak. You keep quiet. I know you love Nigeria. Secondly, again, I want you to research. If you, brother, can give me 10 reasons why Nigeria should remain one, then I will still give up on whatever I'm doing. Another one, stop, no. Brother, listen, we are here, like as I said, to learn. Stop bringing up those fallacy you are talking, calling them researches, history, intellectual, or whatever. You don't know who is here. You don't know where I am. I don't know where you are. You don't know what I'm doing. You don't even know who I am. You don't even know what I'm doing right now. So you should be, when we talk, let's reason and bring out, forget about tribalisms or anything. If you want to speak, you speak on facts, not just bringing this on tribal or whatever because you don't like this part, you don't like what they're doing because of that. No.
Physician, heal thyself.
So please, like I said to you, brother, I just directed everything to you. Go and give it maybe tomorrow, anytime. Contact me. We can come on here and you debate it. If you last more than 10 minutes talking about that, good. Now, again, the last question, please, to brother. If you can tell me 2 persons from Hausa and Fulani, 2 persons from Hausa and Fulani who have strongly stood down and said, I want one Nigeria. Just like the way Yoruba, somebody like Fela Kuti spoke on using his music to talk about Nigerians and many things, and so many people from Igbo who stand firm and say, oh, we want one Nigeria. I want you to give me just 2 persons from either Hausa or Fulani that have taken their blood to stand and said, I want one Nigeria to stand, and they die in it. Any of them. There's none of them. And they are still the one talking about one because of what they're getting in it. Please, let's move on.
I think your first question should go to Modest to tell reason why Nigeria should.
Can I respond to my
Can I take my turn?
Let me respond to my brother. He directed question.
No.
Okay, you
Brother,
speak,
you're gonna
brother.
hold on. Brother, you're gonna hold on. As in,
You
his
have-
questions to you are rhetorical. He doesn't really want to answer.
Yeah.
Can I
Go
respond
ahead.
about the Fulani?
No,
issue?
you can just stay calm.
Hold on. We'll come back to you. When we get to the bottom, we'll take a cue by number. So just hold on. Remember, and don't forget. Hold on.
Okay. No.
Mr. Okunu, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Right. So it was amusing listening to brother rattle on. That's fine. Freedom of expression is a right. People are free to say what they want to say.
Farah wasn't rattling on as well. You didn't find that amusing as well?
Who? Who was talking?
Hey,
Abia, what did you say?
You to just put one word and hide.
Hold on, right? Just let Mr. Okunu go. We're going to
Okay,
after Okunu
right.
is Tunde,
Well-
then Olani, then David, then Eyedeme, then Murray. After Murray, I'm going to take a flashing mic cue.
Right.
But I
So
have
let
to
me
respond,
continue.
brother Ahmed,
No,
right?
let me
Yeah,
finish
so
now,
brother,
brother.
this is what I'm going to tell to you, right? Mr. Okunu, hold on. A lot of them are going to respond to what you said. So it's better you just wait, write down everything that they're saying, and then you address it when it comes back to your time next time around. Otherwise, you're going to be here forever. So a lot of them are going to, because the things you said are very, very, they're very far out there, right? So a lot of them are going to respond to what you said. So just hold on, right? Mr. Okunu, go ahead.
Right. So as I said, I just took it as a bit of gaslighting. That's it's freedom of expression. That's okay. But the issues are simple. Really, really, really very simple when you just dig right down into it. The issues are Biafra was a child of necessity. It was a child of necessity. So Igbo people mostly, were slaughtered in their tens of thousands. And as a result, they came back to their land. And when they came back to their land, they said, okay, we need to protect ourselves. But even then, they were not really ready to leave Nigeria because they had really invested in Nigeria. They had gone to all parts of Nigeria and helped, integrated themselves into various communities. So they said, right, but we need to ensure that Nigeria works for us. So the Abuja Accord was agreed. And yet Nigeria reneged on that. So it was on the basis of looking at the historical killings dating back to the 1940s and even earlier, to the one of the 1960s, going forward with the breaking of the Apuria Accord, that they resolved, the people resolved, their General Assembly, their Council of Elders came together and said, taking all of this into account, we will declare for ourselves a nation. And they did. And this is in line with every tenet of the right to self-determination. This is the normal thing. They did it the right way and then mandated Ojukwu to lead that new nation. Again, even from their declaration on the 27th of May, it took Ojukwu another 3 days of contemplation to now accept that mandate on the 30th of May. So it wasn't, again, Ojukwu being power hungry, deciding to go and declare Biafra. No, it was the people that mandated him. And he took on that responsibility because he is a servant of the people. Now, let's fast forward even to the present day. Let's even leave the fact that the so-called people that love you so much, that love Biafra so much, that they were ready to carpet bomb civilian spaces, that they were ready to use starvation and food blockade in order to bring us back to Nigeria. Let's even forget that part. Let's even forget that after they won their illegal war using war crimes, because that's what it is, using starvation and food blockade and carpet bombing unarmed civilians, those are war crimes. Even after they did that, they then were so petty that they would give every evil person, no matter how much you had in your account, 20 pounds. I'm not even done with that. Jesus Christ. Not even done with that. They stopped them from going back to their old jobs and taking back their old property. That was the level of pettiness we're dealing with. Okay, we said, fine, no problem. We worked hard, we're entrepreneurial people, hardworking, diligent. We got our act together. We continued to thrive. We did well. Still, that's not good enough. Still, that's not good enough. The marginalization continues. The injustice continues to now. We have a failed country. Nigeria is a failed country, and it has been ruled mostly by the North. You know, that's the fact. It's a failed country. So you have a failed country, you have people forcing you to stay in that failed country and then killing you for exercising your right to self-determination, which is all we have asked for. That is all we have asked for. The right to exercise our freedom, our right to self-determination through a peaceful referendum. We even said, okay, fine. We want Biafra to come back. But we know that, yes, there might be some of our people who don't want that, who want to remain part of Nigeria. And that's a legitimate view to have. But let's test the popularity of that view. Let's test it. Let's use a democratic vote and test if that's the majority of the people actually want this Biafra to come back. And the Nigerian state says, no, let's kill you. We will kill you and jail you rather than allow you to exercise a right you have. And you want me to be part of that. But it boils down to this. I don't want to take too long. You cannot stop a people from having freedom. You cannot force unity. It doesn't happen. It can never happen. You can only oppress some people sometimes. You cannot oppress all people all times. At some point, Nigeria will have to have a day of reckoning. We'll have to have a day of reckoning, one way or another. Either you give us that referendum peacefully, or we will take it by force, because we will not joke with our freedom. If you think for 1 second that this generation is joking with our freedom, you better have another think coming. I hear.
Okay, Tunde, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Okune. Well narrated. One thing I must stress is that we are all adults. I think we need to show a little bit of maturity when we address one another, because in as much as you don't like whatever message or brother is saying, He's got the right to hear his own view. Likewise, everybody.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm not talking to you. I'm just talking to the whole house. I'm just talking to them.
Okay.
Yeah. So, in as much as we can allow Quartermaster to say whatever he wants to say, I think every single one of us in this house has got the right as well. We can disagree. That's a different ballgame, but we just need to show a little bit of respect to one another. Well, we're gonna. Lastly, you did mention that you ask for a referendum. Maybe when you come on board later on, I will want to know with what legitimate authority did you put forward this question? Did you put it to the Senate? Don't answer me now. Maybe when you come round, or someone that takes the mic later on can answer that. Was this put forward to?
I get bored with these questions. Have we agreed we should hold the referendum? Can we agree on that?
Mr. Kuno, can you just, Mr. Kuno,
please don't I just say, can I have mine, please, if you don't mind? Thank you. You see, the way it works is this. Whether you like it or not, Nigeria is a sovereign state. We've repeated, we've rehearsed all the terrible things about Nigeria, which is fine. You know, it's now broken records. It's just what I'm saying is that, okay, fine. We want Yoruba nation. We want Biafra nation, or whatever nation that is coming is going to come up tomorrow. How do we get this done?
Can I ask you a question?
Can I finish, please, if you don't mind, please? Stop interjection, please. What I'm trying to say is that it needs to be done through the legitimate authorized body. This is where the conflict is coming through. And people seem to think, oh, you want to referendum. We are not talking to a case that would demand biscuit or anything. It needs to be done through the whether you want to agree with me is a different ballgame. I'm not in power, but I live in a society that, you know what, if you want to get things done, you go to the authority. Whether the authority, how they get there, you can tell me the election is rigged or anything. Those are the people in power. You still need to consult them. I'm aware we've got local House of Assembly, we've got governors, we've got senators, we've got National House of Rep, we've got Senate House, we've got National House of Assembly. So how do we communicate our intention to this? Because all this referendum, I don't think has been labeled in front of the Senate. We've got senators in the House sitting there getting paid every month. Nobody has actually said, you know what, Senator Abaribe, can you move a motion?
Actually, someone.
Okay, fine. Then we need to put pressure. That's what I'm saying. We can sit here all day and say we ask for referendum. We need to now pressure these people. He's sitting down there getting paid every month. This is my line of talk. I'm not attacking anyone here. I'm just saying it should go beyond, oh, we asked for referendum, we asked for this. Now we need action. I'm talking to my Yoruba brothers now. I'm talking to the Biafra folks now. We now need action. There's no point, because there's no way on earth this will be done unless we want war. If that's what we want, then fair enough. Then we know that's what we want. Then we start gathering guns. But if we are not doing that, we are not voting in an election. We don't, and you want referendum. How do we square? How do we get that balance right? That's what I'm saying. Because referendum is still in the political arena. So you don't want people to vote in an election, but the election will be rigged, but referendum will never be rigged. I'm just throwing this out. I don't have the answers before you guys come in on board and start attacking me. I'm just saying how I'm viewing things. You know, that from distance, I'm just viewing things that, you know, let's step back a minute. We want referendum. We don't want to participate in the political election. Fine. How do we, is it not INEC that is going to conduct the referendum? I don't think international bodies are going to come to Nigeria and conduct referendum for us. INEC is the one, is the legitimate authority in Nigeria that's going to do it. So have we thought about that as well? Or we think United Nations is going to conduct this referendum we're talking about? They've been always, the United Nations have been to all our elections, and they've said it's free and fair. Every 4 years they come around. We see them observers from various nations. They tell us at the end of the day the election is free and fair. So how come we think when they do the referendum, the observers will not say the same thing? So these are questions we just need to start. I think we need to now start shifting the questions a little bit. We need to start moving and say, let's ask critical questions that how do we get things done so we can move. I think we just on a standstill, saying same thing about Nigerians over and over and over again. And this is because now someone is going to come on board and say same thing I've listening to since 8 a.m. since morning. And we are still the same place, in the same position. Nothing is going to move. And the people that we should be talking to are sitting down there in Enugu, in Anambra, in Umuahia, in Abia, in Abuja, collecting money. Every senator, only God knows how much a senator gets paid. So what I'm saying in real sense is that, we need to now shift this conversation to the next level. That, okay, this referendum, what are the blueprint, the roadmaps? How do we get things done? Because just sitting down on this app, on Facebook, on social media saying we want referendum, carrying placard, I don't think things work that way. On that note, I yield my mind.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna go to Mr. Olani. I see you flashing, Okunu. We're gonna come back to you. Olani, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Again, actually, I think I like what Mr. Tunde has said. For a very long time, there has been several conversations, particularly on the clubhouse, as regards which way are we going to use in achieving the end goal, which is okay, we want to go, or we want a referendum. Let's test the popularity. Is it that we go via war, or we go through referendum or whatever? But I just think that everything that is happening is just the failure of the state of Nigeria, particularly as regards the war. And if you look at what is happening with this current government, it's still the same thing that they are doing. When there are serious issues and they are docking those issues, not wanting to discuss it. The civil war that happened in Nigeria, anyway, the war, because there's nothing civil about it anyway. So the war that happened in Nigeria, I don't think there's no reason for success. Previous Nigerian government, both military and civilian, to actually act as if nothing happened, act as if maybe 2 or 3 million or 5 million, depending on what number anybody is saying, people died in that war. Act as if nothing happened at all, that all is well and we are one people, we are one nation, knowing fully well that we are not one people. And that is why that for me, I just think personally that we just need to come together to a round table. I mean, several instances has been talked about. Someone talked about Singapore, different people. I mean, Singapore, the size of Singapore, in terms of the culture of the people, in terms of the language, in terms of the uniqueness of the people, I don't think it's as complex as Nigeria. So, using different examples, I mean, I've also make personally, I've also make mistakes, trying to compare what is happening in the UK, in terms of Scotland demanding for referendum and getting it, and still demanding that they still want another one. Because again, if one looks at it historically, how long they've been on that journey before now, it's centuries have been. So what I just want to say is that at some point in time, we won't continue to live like this. We would have to come to the round table again to renegotiate what we actually want from Nigeria. And I think I actually like the illustration of someone, that was talking about Venezuela, using Venezuela as a case example here, saying, look, with being even the largest oil producing country in the world, now Venezuela is as if they are no more. And if the Northerners think that oil that they have in the South will be forever, I think they are making a mistake. They are not even seeing the bigger picture of where the world is going in the future. So I mean, with everything that is happening, we would have to come together as a people, renegotiate if we want to live together. Because currently there's no love, there's no peace, there's no justice. And when all of these things are missing, we can't have a nation. The Igbo people demanding to be separated from Nigeria and given general, I don't know, maybe it's a major or general, but then Ojukwu, the mandate to make it happen. It's just because it's what they decide to do. And then Nigeria going back on the agreement they had in Ghana. I mean, it's just injustice. And then the Nigerian states still continually perpetrate this injustice to these people. I'm not a supporter of IPOB, but I just want, Nigeria to have peace, and Nigerians to be proud that they are Nigerians. And if the only way we could achieve that is to come to the round table, I know that one day it's going to happen. And so this idea that Ojukwu is the cause of 3 million people dying, or all the stuff that this brother is saying, I just know he's just trying to, to take a piece at everybody or play on people's emotion, because that's sort of like an emotional stuff for him, and making fun and poking. I don't think that's the right thing to do. I just think, look, we are Nigerians, we are unique people. Either we want to live together, either we want to go our separate ways. We can still come to the round table. We can still apply some form of diplomacy, and then and look at our differences, and look at what's bring us together to be one. And then if eventually we agree that, I mean, we could agree to go our separate ways and still trade with ourselves, still deal with ourselves in a different way. And so that's it for me anyway.
Thank you. All right, we are on to Mr. Ehiyediame. Please, if I'm spelling your name, please let me know. I'm so sorry, man.
Please, can I respond?
So we're on. Wait 1 second. You got 2 more people, and then it's Victor, and then a flashing mic cue. So Ehiyediame, please.
Hello, brothers and sisters. I was gonna go one way, but I think I need to be more sensitive to the topic, and it's important, in regards to the history and the actual impact of the discussion. So, what I would say is we all know there's a popular saying: the road to hell is laid with or is paved with good intentions. So what I'm trying to say is mistakes have been made in this country called Nigeria. Historical mistakes, blunders. And we have to be careful in, one, rectifying the mistakes of the past, but make sure that we are not necessarily putting ourselves in booby traps to continue these cycles of making wrong decisions and continuous mistakes. Okay? Listen, if we're looking for agitation or balkanization, going our separate ways, or fair play, we can do that. Lightning passes through the median of least resistance. I think it's the easier thing to do. I think in terms of the big picture, I don't think it's the best. But I can see your merits Okay, I can see the merits on that argument. Ideally, if we could have one Nigeria that is working optimally, where resource control is done regionally, you know, where the equity and justice is the rule of the land, I think that is the bigger fight to have. That's the bigger picture play to go with, and it's the harder thing to do. But the benefit of that would be far-reaching. So the question is, do we go with the aspirational goal, or do we go with the goal that maybe we can actually get done quicker and easier? And this is where I would concede with my brothers who say they want to go with their nation and everything like that. I can concede with that. I don't have a problem with that. What I would just say humbly is that the modus operandi of how we actually get this done needs to be ironed out in detail. So yes, agitate for what you're doing, but for legitimacy, we still need to go through a political angle. And even though the political angle is in terms of going through the political, there are certain constraints. When you agitate, that actually helps you from a political standpoint in terms of getting that objective. I don't know if I'm making sense. So it's important that we use all strategies available to get the goal. Yes, you can agitate for what you want, and you double down on your agitation, but other people who are going through the political route, they're still looking for that change. You don't need to discriminate them or be condescending. It's a different strategy for the bigger picture. And if we can understand that, I think we can go far. Okay, Nigeria under a confederation or even a federation is as close to a balkanized nation. At the end of the day, even if we are balkanized in terms of the different nations within the concept of Nigeria, we will still need to have some kind of integration policy, some unity policy in terms of economic security frameworks, and the rest can go on. So if we can understand that, we don't need to we don't need to, be at loggerheads with each other. We just understand that people are going through different paths in terms of their strategies. What you need to do, or what we need to do, is double down on our strategies, or focus on what we need to focus on, and understand that if the person from the opposing team or opposing strategy possibly needs help, see what we can do to help ourselves, because we're ultimately looking at the same goal. Brother, it's not necessarily I agree or disagree with brother, but brother's PTR, if you look at it, that's a strong situation, a strong message. Sometimes you don't even need to talk about it. The handshake between Ojukwu and Gowon. Yes, we understand the reasons for the war. Yes, we understand what happened during the war. The question is, do we understand the lessons from the war? Do we understand the lessons from the war? And what was the mindset of someone like the General Ojukwu after, in his latter years, or after all this is it could be that he was saying something different to the public and saying something different to his people. It could be that. But the question is, what are the lessons learned? Okay? I love you, brothers. Igbo, Yoruba, and everything like that. We have history together. Irrespective of how things play out and how things go up, we have history together. Let us not act as if this has not happened, that we don't have that. We do have history together. But yes, things could play out the other way. I can concede that. But the question is, how do we do that in a way that does not necessarily cause a war? you need that political angle to legitimize the process. I yield my mic. Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Murray was supposed to go next, but he left the room. Mr. Victor, do you have anything to say?
After him, I will respond, please. I've been waiting, Brother Ahmed.
Mr. Victor, okay, Mr. Victor's not saying anything. All right, so.
Okay, let me respond.
I see, hold on.
Yes,
I
brother,
see three people that want to speak, right? So Brother Joshua and Modestus, right? Brother, this time, there is going to be time, right? So please stick to the time. And Mr. Okunu. So we go Brother Joshua, Modestus, Mr. Okunu. All right, 3 minutes apiece. Please stick to your time, all right?
All right, brother. I love you. Thank you so much for still allowing me to speak again with my brothers and sisters that are here listening to us. And I pray that God may continue to bless and continue to give us power. And may God bless Nigeria. Yes, I see it. You see, beautiful. To even come here, engage with my brothers, to come here with people with different ideology, people with different thinking, I understand it's good, which means there is progress coming. All right. So my brother, he asked questions. He said, brother, will you debate me about Nigeria for 10 minutes? If you can, then I will give up all what I believe. Brother, I can debate you for as long as 30, 40, 50 hours. All the time I'm ready. And you move on that our brother Fulanese came to the north and they conquer houses. They're now moving down and they brought Islam to Hausa land. Man, I don't think you don't know history. If you know history well enough, you won't even speak like this in a public. There was Islam before Ibn Danfodio was born. There was not Ibn Danfodio. Who is it Danfodio, in fact? When you talk about Islam in the northern part of Nigeria, Islam was before Danfodio, I think, for over 700 years, or almost 1,000 years before Danfodio was born in the northern part of Nigeria. We move on. Fulani conquer house. They took over their land. They installed emirs, Jarki. They installed Jarki. No, brother, why don't you sometimes ask yourself this question? Why houses?
1 minute left.
Brother, okay, why don't I asking this question yourself? Why houses not shouting about marginalization? Nigerian government is not doing with us everything, because houses have never even produced a president in Nigeria, but you never come see them on social media shouting this. You see, I love the way you guys come on social media shouting on Northerners, Fulanis, because I love to see you continue in this, because you are waking up the Northerners that don't understand the opportunities in their own communities. Your own brothers from the south, they come down to the north and took these opportunities in our community, because to me, brother, a gangster is not a brother on the street with smoking, with his knife in his pocket, trying to snatch one in the hand of the other brother. No, the real gangster to me is the one that can come to your own community and set up a business.
You're out of time, brother.
Let me okay, come into your own community, set up a business, and suck the blood of your own people. He take the money out of your community and put it back into his community and make your own community 4-on-4 and make his own community richer and richer. That is a gangster. And let me tell you, Ojukwu, these 2 men, check my bio. I have many images that if you guys will allow me, I will put and explain many things to you so that you can get some sense. I said, not Igbos. I respect and love Igbos. In fact, Potemas Tanomi Burial, I said, in fact, I want to have Igbo blood in me. Yesterday we were in room with him. He offered a room. He invited me. We came and laugh. We joked. See, we love. In fact, those that are agitating, they really don't want to leave Nigeria. Let me tell you, if they want, they
brother,
will
you're
do
at time. You've gone a minute over now. You're at time.
Let me,
Joshua, go ahead.
I will go after.
3 minutes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
I'm sorry before you talk. Sorry before you talk. Sorry, I don't think it's fair for brother. You said brother will respond to everybody that spoke his words, and over 3 people spoke for him, and you gave him 3 minutes to respond. I just don't think it's fair.
Yeah,
that's just an observation. Thank you.
Yeah,
okay,
thank you so much.
I've made you a mod to help with this. I'm trying to move between my kids and do this because everybody else left that was modded.
All right,
please,
let me continue.
try and make sure everybody gets to speak though. Don't let it go too long. All right.
No, you have 2 more minutes.
Brother, you have 2 more
He's
minutes.
not responding to
All right,
people.
Brother, you have 2
He's
more
not
minutes.
giving a lecture.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, my brother. You see, and you move on, brother. Like I was saying, a real gangster is the one that will come into the community, in your own community. But if you can go outside and tell the Igbos that have never been to the North that the Northerners hate them, how will you explain to me as a Northerner that no Igbos are allowed to get access to my own economy? In fact, most of the states in the northern Nigeria, the economy of most of the states are controlled by the Igbos. How, if I hate you, allow you to get access to my economy and to bring me many things? I are just sitting down, laying on my bed every day, unactive, unproductive. So now the thing that you guys are doing is a blessing. You know, when God wants to resurrect the dead people, He will use his own people, the people that are thinking those are awake or on being sleeping for a while to wake them up by trying to put some blames on those people that are sleeping. Yeah. So you are waking them up to realize, to come up, okay, continue preaching this. I will even, in fact, if you have any organization that you want help, I will donate so that you in the North continue coming preaching your brothers not to come to the North and do businesses. Or in fact, you can say to your brothers, please come back home. We need you. Come back home. Leave North. Stop investing your money in the North. We don't need. They will tell you no because they're under an intelligent Igbo man, a wise Igbo man, and women understood
30 seconds.
All right, that understood this for you to be powerful in this world that we are. You must control the money. I'm telling you, those that are shouting, they don't know nothing about politics. They don't know nothing the game and international bankers are playing in Africa. They're just shouting, let's go properly, let's have our own country. If you go there, the international banking institution are the ones still continue controlling you.
Okay, brother, you have like 3 more seconds. Just land your plane, and so the next speaker will speak.
All right. Okay. Let me put this image in this 3 seconds, and so that you guys you check and see my PTR. Check my PTR, guys. You will see. You can refresh my PTR and see what the Igbo Peace Forum said. Urge federal government to charge Kanu for murder. This is the guy that agitators see as a idol, as Mandela, as Malcolm X. This guy, Igbos, there are many Igbos that don't even, and if you don't subscribe to his belief, he will send his foot soldiers to kill you. This thing is happening right now in.
All right, thank you, brother. Next person, please.
I had videos with me. If you want, I will play to you.
Thank you, brother. I don't want to gag you, brother. I think you've had enough time.
Thank you so much for allowing me, brother. I love you.
Thank you. Love you. So who's next, please?
So can I put in?
Is it Farao?
Can I speak?
All right.
Can I speak?
All right.
I think I saw Farao's mic first. I saw
Okay.
Farao's mic link first. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, Farao, please go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much. You see, what makes you a good argumentator is the ability to stand and defend whatever you think is best for you. Is even if you can defend a shit and tell someone, no, this shit you can eat it and it's a food. It's very wonderful. That makes you a good argumentator. That is very wonderful. You see, brother is really talking about many things that he don't know about. You see, I wouldn't want to begin to dive into what many things you talk about, Juku, being go on, taking pictures, and and many of them. I just want to talk about this. The last thing you said that the Igbo group, tied or urges the government to whatever jail now can whatsoever. Let me tell you something. You can go to Punch newspaper, just you, and you submit to them, which I think is 12,000 naira before, or maybe 15,000 naira in a full page, and you say to them, we are in a group in North, and we are saying that we don't like Buhari. And the Punch News will publish it, that a group. So that was the name of the group that said that Nanka is this. Which group is that? All I want to say, the
IPOB Peace Forum is the group that
shut up, please. Keep quiet, please. Please. When they say about Abia people or so ever ask IPOB to pay this and that, what? Which of them? So you can just wake up in the morning, go to the newspaper point and deposit anything you want to deposit, give them money and call yourself one group, and that's all. You don't understand what is happening in this country, brother. I don't think you should. And you're talking about Hausa, Fulani being Hausa. Why? I want to tell you why the Hausas are not truly concerned about the Nigeria, whether they are there or not. The Fulanis have conquered you people, whether you believe it or not. If you are not reading your history, that means you're just reading and not studying. I will urge you to go and study the history, not just read. If you study that history, then you understand what I'm saying. The Fulani people are your grandmasters. They are masters. They are Hausa slave masters. They conquered them. They are under them. So the Hausas don't have anything to say. As simple as that. They are with them. So you can't tell me, oh, they are not talking anything, and that's why. So why the Igbos are talking White House? No, we know what is going on in Nigeria. It's only a blind or somebody who don't want to sit and because you're enjoying your life, you have.
Hey, Farouk, hold on. Omar, I see you. Okay, you're gonna go after Chipu Bule. I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing your name wrong. You're gonna go after him. It will be Farouk, Ukonu. Then we're going by the PDR order. All right, thank you. Go ahead, please, sir.
All right, I don't really have a lot of time to speak because I'm feeling nice speak already. So, my brother, let's just, I want you to go and get your history studied, not just read them. When you after that, then you can come up. You were talking about you can stand me 1 hour, 20 hours debating Nigeria. It's possible, yes. You can be talking all the kind of trashes, trying to defend it. But how many points are you going to bring? You just bring talking about one thing. You understand me? So that is it. Nigeria has no stand. Nigeria has no leg. You cannot build a 4-story building under the foundation of just a bungalow. It's not possible. You understand? So Nigeria has collapsed, and Nigeria needs dissolving. If you want to build a new Nigeria, you need to dissolve this very Nigeria and build another one. Of course, it's not going to work, and that's why we are doing what we're doing, and we continue to do it, and we will succeed. A brother talk about how do we get this referendum we're talking about. Yes, that's the things we are talking about. We know that there are people who are in that Senate who are just eating the money, and so many of them. You don't know how many people we have met. Relax and watch what is going on. As simple as that. The battle is between the Biafrans and Nigerians. And at the end, Biafra must come. That's what I have to say.
Right. All right. Thank you. Okano, your turn, please. 3 minutes.
Yeah, thank you. I might not even need all of that. So as I said, the issues are really, really, really Very simple. People have a right to self-determination. They don't need to qualify for that right. So people will say, oh, we need to do this, you need to do that, you need to go through this process, you need to go through that process. No, it is a right. Yes, those processes are routes that can be taken. There are options, there are possibilities, but a right, I don't need to qualify a right, to qualify for a right. What we need to do is simply acknowledge that these people have that right. And the stage we're now in is to sensitize people, is to say to people, acknowledge our right and stop killing us for exercising our right. Can you stop killing us and jailing us for simply saying we want to exercise our right? Can you do that? I mean, Amnesty International did a report, 150 Biafran agitators murdered by the Nigerian security agents simply for marching peacefully. We need to get to that point where there is no Nigerian, if at all you're decent, if at all you believe in justice and democracy and fairness, can open their mouth and say, it's okay to jail someone, to kill someone, simply for saying, let's have a referendum. It should not happen. And the fact that we're still having that kind of conversation boggles my mind. That there are some people who say, yes, kill them, it's okay. Because they marched, because they carried flag, because they said, oh, let's exercise our right to self-determination. Some people are okay with killing people. And then those same people want me to share the country with them. I mean, it's a ridiculous, it's a nonsense. But as Farah already said, what we are doing, we will keep doing. We don't need to huff and puff too much about it on social media platforms. All we ask, let everyone recognize that we have that right. Once we get to that point where there's a critical mass of people recognizing our right, then we get to the next stage, which is to discuss the modalities. And we will then discuss how. It will now be a question of the how, whether it's a UN supervised, INEC supervised, your village community meeting, your church supervised, anyhow you want it, we can discuss it and agree on it, and at least people can trust the process. But first, let everyone accept that fact. You cannot stop a right. I don't need to qualify for it. I don't need to do anything for it. I have it. It is mine. And 1,000 billion million Buharis can never take it away from me. I rest.
All right. Thank you, Konu. Sorry, I will just make a little question.
No. Please, you got to hold on. It is actually Modesto has spoken. I think it's
Chimdi Ebube. Can you guys hear me?
All right,
go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
All right, guys. I'm happy to join this platform. You're gonna hear a little bit noise at the background. I'm driving, but I believe I can speak. I hope you guys can hear me.
Loud and clear. Go on, please.
Yeah, I have a question, right? How is it that Scotland or Wales can ask for a referendum to leave the United Kingdom, but someone in a concocted Nigeria cannot ask for a referendum to be in Biafra? Why? Is it because we're black or we are stupid? I want to find out, please.
Let me answer you.
I want to answer that. I want to answer that question.
Who wants to answer?
Wait.
Take that question.
Let me go there. Maybe Sadiq will go.
Yeah. Are you using your time now? Using your time on
Scotland. Can I answer that?
Wait. Mr.
Did Scotland kill people? Did Scotland burn police stations?
No, it's not
Hey
that.
guys,
Let
hold
me
on.
give you
No, that's not.
Wait, Priya. Wait, let me even just give him a realistic. Let's even forget this these atrocities they're doing, but let's just give it number one. And the question I'll ask you back is: Scotland is a country. Is Biafra a country? I mean, Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales, England.
Biafra was a country
the
for
Great
3
Britain.
years.
Okay, but is Biafra a country now? Do you have a Biafran passport?
Country, like.
Yeah. So if you're
I got
saying
that
Scotland had a referendum, yes, Scotland has a referendum because they have their own Scottish Parliament. They have their own rules of engagement. They have their own everything, their own modalities in Scotland, and they have their own, states, a union as Scotland country. So if Biafra was a country in Nigeria, obviously, then they can have a referendum. Moreover,
Can I ask a question?
Scotland has a referendum in their constitution.
Do I need to qualify for the right to self-determination?
Governor, sorry. I think it should be fair since you answered the question, rather than to be hold on, gentlemen. Sorry, Modestus, hold on, Modestus. Sorry, please, sorry, everyone. I think it would be only fair for the speaker to go on and finalize, so that other speakers can go on. I think there was a queue or something, so that we won't be going to and fro. He asked a question, and then I think someone answered it. I mean, you can proceed with your submission, or if you don't, somebody can go on.
I think it's Modesto's time to go on.
I don't think so. I think Chidibem has not finished.
I was assigned.
You haven't finished. Chidibem, you haven't finished.
And even if he's done, I think I'm the next speaker according to your PTR.
Let's
give me 1 minute, and then
Team D.
Let me give you 1 minute.
Let Mr. Team D finish now.
Yeah, let me finish that question. Just give one. Just 1 minute. 1 minute. I won't be more than 1 minute, please. 1 minute.
But let me finish my chain of thoughts.
Modestus,
sorry.
You asked a question. And then let me give you 1 minute answer. Just 1 minute.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. We are discussing. Go ahead.
There are two things that are very, very germane to that question. The Scottish National Party put it on their first manifesto that if they win a super majority in the Scottish Parliament, that they will table that motion in the UK, in the Westminster Parliament. It was there for 20 years. Until 2014, they won that majority. That motion was tabled at the UK Westminster Parliament. And it was said, okay, since it was a manifesto decision, it was a single issue manifesto of the Scottish National Party, that the UK Parliament does not have any authority not to grant it. They passed the vote. It became a UK law. In fact, the Parliament has to pass that vote. And that gave it a status of law that whatever the outcome of that referendum must be adhered to by the UK Parliament and the European Union Parliament. So there needs to be a law passed and accepted, and that law was passed. And it was signed by the Queen of England as a statute that granted Scotland the right to independence, to have a referendum. And that was how it happened. So there is a process to counteract that. In Barcelona, they didn't get that law, but they have a referendum as well. And all of them were put in jail. Most of them flee. So it's not, you need to have a force of law. That's what I'm trying to explain. You need to have it. Thank you.
All right, thanks for that answer. The problem I'm having is I have seen and I have read about countries that were formed from other European and Eastern European countries. And these were all negotiated upon and done, right? I just don't understand why the issue of Biafra is becoming a headache. Each time I come on Clubhouse, all we're discussing about is why Biafra is a problem. This shouldn't be a problem at all. The day that the Nigerian army went to where people were protesting with flags and killed them, that was the day that Nigerian government signed to get what they are getting from Biafrans. And I can tell you as an Igbo man, that every Igbo man or most Igbo men are ready to die, whether it is emotional or it is an issue of it's a strategic or intelligent discussion. That's not what we are saying. What we are saying here is that people were killed and there is injustice against those people that were killed. And we are not even talking against the Nigerian government for killing people extrajudiciary, but we'll come here to debate on how Biafra should be and shouldn't be. I think that's hypocritical. To me, the issue of Biafra is not to be on every clubhouse platform. If you believe it, fine. If you don't believe it, how will you fix the hellhole that is Nigeria? A country of insanity, the country of mad people, and I'll respectfully tell you that, because for now, yes, Nigeria still exists, but it won't exist for long. That's my opinion, and I'll be listening for all your rebuttals.
And gentlemen, please, let us be kind. Yes, let us be kind with our words. Okay, I'm a Nigerian. I'm not a
please
madman.
tell Chimedu to check brother
please,
brother. Sorry,
please,
one house.
If you want to make your submission, make it without insults and innuendos. Okay, that's just what I'm going to say. Thank you.
Okay, Priya, can I just
all right, thank you. Sorry, brother. Brother, just a moment. Sorry, brother, please. Sorry, please.
Let me just
hold on.
Can you allow me?
We are definitely going to talk. It's not. We don't want the room to be buzzwords between one or two.
Yeah, I know. But let me just
hold on for a minute. Just hold on for a minute, right? I understand you have something to say, but be patient. A little bit patience. Patience is not going to kill you. Okay, just be a bit more patient. You might end up saying even more important things later. Just gather them.
No. Just 30 seconds. I'll just tell my brother.
God, if you say something 30 seconds, somebody will respond. Brother, just try to understand. Hold on. It's definitely coming back. Okay. So I think it's my own turn to speak, right? So I will start by asking Chindu Mba, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Please, I heard you mention, a few things about Nigeria and how Nigerian government is operating and everything. I mean, you are very right about your right for self-determination and whatever it is you think. I'm 100% support of you. May God help you to what you are going to. May you achieve it, okay? But then I have a question for you. I think you are living somewhere in the United States, right?
Yeah, of course.
Am I right?
Yeah, of course.
Please, which passport are you using to travel?
The passport I'm using to travel?
Yeah, right now.
It's definitely not Nigerian.
Sorry?
It's not Nigerian.
Okay, the first time you travel out of Nigeria,
what has that got to do with anything, for heaven's sake?
Calm down, Ukonu. I'm going to come to you, please.
Make your point already and stop personalizing.
You can't interject me. If you keep interjecting me, I will move.
Make your point. Make your point.
It is not directing the question to you. Just let.
Moment, sorry. First time you travel out of Nigeria, I guess you used a Nigerian passport. I'm just guessing. Right? Am I right?
The issue of paper is not material. If I'm a Biafran, I'll have a passport. So I don't see why that should be an issue.
No, do you know why I'm asking you? Because you call us mad people.
If a Biafra state, listen, we are all mad in Nigeria, including me. We are all in the mad area.
I'm not
Thank
mad.
you. No, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm done. Thank you. I'm done with you. Thank you very much. You have answered my question. Moment, please. One house. You've answered my question. Thank you very much. Well, for clarity's sake, Moment, hold on, please. For clarity's sake, I'm a Nigerian and I'm not mad. Okay, thank you. Now back to you, Farah. Are you there?
I'm with you.
Thank you very much. I heard your submission. It was a very great one. I mean, a very, very great one. And of course, Ukonu also as well, that mentioned that everyone has the right for self-determination. I respect that and I understand that. Keep it on. Farah, I learned that you were referring to a kind of thing that happened, how normally media houses operate. Am I right? That maybe you can just go to Punch with 15,000 naira and just give a news of how you want it to go out, and then they will publish it a full page or half page.
Of course,
am I right?
How Nigeria work. That's Nigeria's system of work. That's how they work in Nigeria.
Yeah. I understand that, and I'm happy that you just give me that knowledge for free. So what I want to ask you is, all the news that we have been seeing about the Fulani Hetman and the Hausas, the North, and everything, is that also sponsored news with 15,000 naira, or what do you think?
Your question is irrelevant.
There are different between. Listen, there are different. You ask me a question. There
No, sorry. Hold on. Before you
there
teach
are
me
different.
something.
I want to answer you, please. I want to answer.
But you answered me. You said my question is irrelevant. I now ask you, why do you think so?
There are different between. You need to allow me speak.
But you've answered me already. I'm not gagging you.
Calm down. I haven't answered you. I have to.
So let me rephrase the question so that you answer me correctly. I said all the news that we have been seeing about the Fulani headsman and some news about some northerners. Okay, is it also sponsored news with 15,000 naira, just the way you mentioned that it used to happen, or not?
The news that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was arrested, is it sponsored?
I don't know. You are the one that gives me the knowledge. You just mentioned it out here that it is 15,000 naira that people used to give punch. I am asking you for knowledge.
Listen.
You can't throw back the question.
Listen to me. You ask, just relax.
It's just yes or no.
There are different.
One house.
There are different between a sponsored. Look, when you go to newspapers, you can give them we are saying this, and they write it down. That when something happens and the newspaper takes up to break the news to the nation, that is different. So when a news happens and the newspaper, anywhere you see media, they can break it up. But telling me that a group of people came, where did they say it? Do you have the video? The answer is no. Did you have the video? So you yourself can still go on to any newspaper and say, we are saying this, we don't want this. And you call yourself a group of people. You can be two, you can be three. That is how it's done in Nigeria.
Okay.
If you want me to prove you wrong, if I'm in Nigeria now, if you want me to prove wrong, I can even send somebody to Nigeria to myself, go and meet a guidance newspaper, tell them this and give them money, and they break the day. Tomorrow you see it on that this group say this.
So Farah, all you are saying is you are skipping my question. I think maybe I did not put it in the right way. I will try to put it again. I said you just mentioned at the closing even of your second remark that even if you are not, if to say you are in Nigeria, that you could just send someone or just go to Guardian, for example, yourself, and just give them 15,000 naira and tell them this is what you want to push out, and they will just publish it. And I'll ask you, so for credibility's sake, right? Now we need to understand what is happening. We don't know what was really happening, but now that you are opening our eyes, is all the news that we have been seeing about some northerners and the Fulani headsman, is it also done that way? Is it that just somebody just go there and give money, or it's not so? That is what I'm asking.
And that is why I ask you, when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was arrested, is it a sponsored news?
I said I don't know. Also, including Mazi's news, including Nnamdi Kanu's news, were they also all sponsored the bandits news and everything that we're seeing? Does that mean we don't have a credible media? You can't ask me a question when I ask you. You are to answer me. You know something that I don't know.
I say there are different between a news that happened in the nation and the news of a group of people staying.
I understand now. How do I know news that happens and the one that doesn't happen? How do I know? How do I differentiate, please?
You want to know how you know?
Yes.
You dissolve Nigeria, then you know.
No.
That's the solution.
If you
want, please, do we still have moderators in this room? Do we still have moderators in this room? Please, moderators, please take over this, please.
Can we please just move on?
Calm down.
Please, Omar, could you just make a submission? Don't ask him any question because evidently he's not answering your question. So let's just move on.
So it's good, you know.
Too much.
Thank you very much, Hamid. Thank you very much.
No. Don't say I'm not asking you. No. Listen.
Calm down. Please, it's my time. Don't worry. It's part of my time. You have answered me. It's okay for me. It's enough for me. Okay, thank you.
Just like asking when he traveled.
No. If you keep doing this, I'll move you down to the gulag. I say calm down. I asked you a question. You answered me. It's my own time. I'm okay with the answer that you give me. It's okay for me. Thank you very much. So you see, we need to understand something, right? It's very, very important. Whatever we are doing, right? We mind the language and the approach we use, right? I don't know the beginning of the conversation, but I get into the room and I listen to what you were saying, and I pick the sense out of it and I pick the rubbish out of it. And I couldn't judge you just by what you are saying. I have to ask you some few questions. And now by asking those questions, I clearly understand the type of person I'm dealing with. Nobody is stopping anybody from doing whatever he wants to do. You have the right to live. You have the right to do whatever you want to do. But you can't stay out of Nigeria and be inciting violence. That is being cowardly. That's been cowardly. You can't be shouting, all Nigerians, all Igbos are ready to die. We have Igbo friends. We have them right here on Clubhouse that day by day they come and say this is what they want, not that is what they want. In as much as you have the right to go for your self-determination, other people have the right to say no, we want to maintain country. So that doesn't dispute the fact that others want peace. And you can't come here and say Igbo women are ready to die. Everybody to the You can't just come and say they are ready to die. Why you are not even in the country? What are you guys saying? Propagate what you want to propagate. Push your narratives, push your agendas, but you have to be careful and mindful of how you do it. You can't just be doing things that way. That's inhumane.
I have to be careful because you can come the same thing you told me now that there are Igbos who are not even in the line of what we're doing. The same thing.
I don't understand why you keep gagging me up. You have to calm down. When you are speaking, we all shut our mouth up. You need to understand that there are rules in Clubhouse. If you want to speak, you blink your mic. Among the moderators, they will pick you. Even me as a moderator, I had the privilege to speak. But when I unmuted my mic, prayer said I should hold on, and I hold on. I respected the rules. So you should, of course, please. Please, the next person is Modestus. You can go on, then Kelechiku, you can pick up.
Yeah, I think I probably
Modestus, you sound very low. You sound very low.
Yeah, I think I probably lost it. I don't really have any more than to contribute. Sometimes it's always good. There are a couple of things that I said earlier on. I was able to give that clarification because the idea of somebody was asking, okay, yeah, I remember one. He said, does Nigeria have a history? There are 200 countries that have the same history like Nigeria. The British went all over the world, colonizing everybody. They colonized China, Indonesia, Malaysia. The Commonwealth countries have 54 countries. Even Australia, America, they have the same history Nigeria have. For some people who think that Nigeria does not have a history, so also many countries across the world that don't have a history. If that is the parameter of measuring people's history, people need to just leave all this stuff and move on. America today, there are Republicans that are fighting against Democrats. In fact, they have their guns drawn. Does America have history? It's the history of British in America. Those who are ruling that place, the Irish left here because of potato famine. They couldn't find food in Europe, and they crossed the channel. You can watch, if you watch what's that film, you see them when they were crossing the channel to America. And that's how they founded that El Dorado that everybody think that is the best in the world. They left. Australia is the country of criminals. The British dumped their criminals in Australia. And that is their history. The Chinese were balkanized by the Russians, the Holland, the Dutch, all of them. They have their quarters in China. Today, China have taken over Hong Kong. They have taken over Macau. They want to take over Taiwan. That is their history. The history of the world is the history of what the British done in all corners of the world. From the Caribbean. Even I am thinking of how I can bring my black brothers that we sold to the Caribbeans. And people are talking about how they can leave Nigeria. They are our brothers. You can see them. So go and see their footprint. They eat the same food like us. They do the same dance like us, the same culture, the same way of life. They worship the same God, the totems and all of them. We are the same. And they are there crying for us. We banish them to an island that is full of hurricanes, tornadoes, and they can't even put a roof and watch it for a year. Thinking of how to bring them back. Look at Haiti. People are thinking of how they can just leave a small enclave that they have. And somebody's telling me that Nigeria doesn't have a history. That's what you teach your children, that Nigeria doesn't have a history. It's rubbish. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Modestus. I think Kelechiku, can you go on?
Yeah, good evening, everybody, again. Okay, the way this thing sounds is like all of us know there is a problem. I don't know if it's like we are denying that there is a problem. If we check around, there is no one, maybe few, that will say we are true Nigerians. And then we are waiting for someone to say, this is the way it is. And then we will go after that person. How do you want this to be achieved? It's not just happening in Southeast. It's happening in the North. It's happening in the West. It's happening in South. Everywhere you go, there is problem. Those that know how to do it are keeping quiet. Then someone stood up and said, I am tired of this. We are all calling for his head. We don't like the way he's doing it, yes. But what are we, those who call themselves the intellectuals in Nigeria, the elites of Nigeria, what are we doing to correct the mess that is going on in Nigeria? Everybody's looking for who will come out and then will condemn such person. I see a lot of them who will find out one thing or the other against them. This one is a bulldog, this one is this one is the other one. And then we'll come back to Clubhouse, we look at the whole thing and we look for whose head we will call. Let us all come back and see if we're actually Nigerians and put things in perspective and tell ourselves the truth. Nigeria is not working. It's not working. For the Igbo man that I am, we all know we are true Democrats. We don't believe that one person will take us for this ride. We believe in equity. We respect you for what you bring on the table. As soon as we don't get it from you, off everybody goes. When you come to Igbo land, the kindred is the highest authority. Because how does it work? All of us come together to decide what we want, not under one person. We believe in everybody's equal right. But look at what is happening. The politicians are taking everybody for a ride and we are clapping for them. When someone talks, we begin to look for how he's not doing it well. Please come out and tell us how to come out of this mess and stop the blame game. Most times the Northerners might think that this is against them. I'm not sure Biafra is working against Northerners. If we look at the root of the whole of this, is the injustice that is going on in Nigeria, is the divide that is going on in Nigeria. If you are not up there, you find it difficult to eat. I said it earlier in this house, that time is coming when so many people will even run away more. Maybe it will even be so late because of the way it is going. Maybe some of us are living in the big areas. But where we stay with them, and we know exactly what is going on. The issue of the loot after the xenophobia in South Africa should have told the people in Nigeria, working class in Nigeria, that something is wrong somewhere. We are the next target. They might not get across to the politicians. We are very close to them. So blaming Nnamdi Kanu or blaming anybody, Sunday Boho, or anyone that is coming up, that is the little they know. We that know better, how are we going to make Nigeria better? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kelly. Good, great submission. Ari, you have been blinking your mic, right? SK, Ari.
No, I just came in now, so I barely understand what was being discussed, so I would like to wait for a while.
All right. You're welcome. So, brother, I think you can go on now and make your submission. Then, Chudibem or Farad, I wanted to speak.
Yes, thank you, brother. I just want to tell my brother to check my PTR.
Daniel is noted.
No, Can you guys listen? Can you guys hear?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I Chide Bubu. Please, I don't know if I murder your name. Sorry, I don't mean that. I want you to check my PTR to see Ojuku there and go on. These two men were the dangerous killers that made they cost nearly 6 million Igbos lost their lives. So you can check and see, and you can use it and ask yourself this question: why after the war, after Igbos lost their lives, Ojukwu died as a Nigerian, and you are still now shouting about Biafra, 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 and see him now shaking hand with Ojukwu. Ojukwu and go on after in early 2000, after they have a lunch and they shake hands, smiling to each other. They destroy the Igbo land. These men, they destroy Igbo land and kill millions of people. So what are you going to say about this picture, my brother Chibebo? We want to hear from you, please. Can you want to hear your reaction?
All right. Should I respond about
Please
that?
respond in 30 seconds.
All right. I want you to understand that in as much as I respect Ojukwu as an Igbo man, and I also respect Gowon, they did what they have to do according to their own understanding. But I want you to understand that most of us that are looking for Biafra or agitating for Biafra right now, we remember that when Ojukwu died, for some years, you didn't hear anybody shout about Biafra or not. If you fix Nigeria, if you make it a place where a sane environment, I bet you, I don't care about Biafra, I don't care about the name. But as long as Nigeria is not working, I have to stick to an ideology. I have to ask for something. If you know how to fix Nigeria so that people carrying Nigerian flags, asking the government to stop brutalizing its youth or her youth, if you know how to stop them from killing them, let me know. Do that. They brutalize people with Nigerian flags, they kill them. They kill people with Biafran flags. And if the Arewa people carry flags, they will also kill them. The problem is not about Biafra and no Biafra. The problem is Nigeria. Let's stop focusing on the symptoms and look at the problem. Nigeria created these agitations and we are agitating. The government is behaving as if they don't care, because I know this war is a war of class. Because even our politicians in Igbo land don't want Biafra. The politicians in Yoruba land don't want Biafra. So Biafra is a mantra for people that have been alienated, that have been pushed back, that have been treated unfairly, that have been met with injustice. Biafra is a mantra for them to seek for justice. That's the way they know how to do it. Okay. Ojukwu will shake your one. We are all African. We're not enemies. It's not about being enemies. If I see you tomorrow, brother, I will also shake you. We can even eat together. But one thing we have to do is to find a way to fix Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Let me react. Okay, let me react about his answer. So you see, he said it's not about the Biafra, and if Nigeria now, if Nigeria to him, Nigeria will not now. If Nigeria would work now, he will not even talk about Biafra anymore. So the reason why I put this picture, I want you to reason with me, brother. Ojukwu imposed this war on the Igbos. He made a call that the Igbos that living in the north, they should come back.
Excuse me, let me correct you. He did not impose the war, please. Please, let's be guided.
Thank you. Please, hold on, gentlemen. Please, let's learn to understand that if somebody is talking, we should just stay firm and be patient for whatever that guy or that person is saying, so that when he's done, we can then go on and make our own submission or tackle whatever that person is saying. Brother, please try to land your plane.
All right, thank you. Be patient, brother Chibebu. Ojukwu himself was one of the people that destroyed Niger Deltans because they want their own republic. Gui Ironsi gave him an order. He killed hundreds of Niger Deltans, and later he won his own country for selfish interests because he now, after the coup, and the coup plotters were even promoted in the prisons by these two, by men like Gui Ironsi, but like men like Gui Ironsi. You see, Ojukwu, with his selfish interests, he imposed war on Igbos that don't even, like you said now, the leaders, political leaders and leaders, traditional leaders don't want Biafra. Now you said with your mouth, you say they don't want it. And you say it's about class. And you see Ojukwu, after he contributed a lot by destroying the Igbo land and make
Brother,
Igbo
please,
land
you have 10 seconds.
Okay, all right, thank you, sir. Make the Igbo land 4 on 4. He put out the country. He went to this country and enjoyed his life. Later, years later, he came back to Nigeria and apologized to the Nigerian government and Nigerians. And he dies in Nigeria. And now somebody came up with this ideology and one against wants to put another Igbos in trouble and telling them now we have to fight another war. We must destroy Nigeria. We must do this. Let me land.
You have been given your time. Please land your plane in 2 seconds.
All right. Let's go another war. Fulani Janjaweed coming from Putajalo. They have conquered the north, the houses now. They have no say in their own land, so we should not let no Fulani coming into our community and take over.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Let me land, please.
Okay. Sorry, brother. If we give you much time, you can save it. Then you can go on maybe next PTR when somebody speaks, because it's not fair for other people, to be waiting. So let's keep it moving so that we can have a good conversation, hearing from different people. Sorry, brother, you have to save it. You can go on another time. Farah, are you there? Kelechuku, you are noted. Farah.
Yes.
Farah, Daniel. Farah, then Daniel, then Kelechuku. Go on, Farah.
Yes, I'm with you.
You have a minute.
All right. Brother, what is happening to you? It's like you like this name Ojukwu. And this is one of the things that got me always annoyed, even after Kelechuku said something right now. We said we want to fight for Nigeria to be getting well, right? We have had some argument right now, and Kelechuku came in to say something right now. I want Omar to take this very thing I'm saying now, because you were like telling me to together on this. Saying that Ojukwu imposed war to Igbo people is a capital useless talk. I would use that word, sorry. Can you tell me what prompted the protest in the South saying in Aburi Accord we stand? There was a protest that time saying in Aburi Accord we stand. Can you tell me what bring about that very protest? Why did people begin to protest? Oh, in Aburi Accord we stand. Can you tell me? You're talking about they shake their hand, this and that. That doesn't make sense. Just like my brother said, if I see you tomorrow, I can hug you, kiss you, give you food in my house, give you anything. That does not make me to stop fighting for what I believe. It will never, because we are one Africa, no matter what. If eventually tomorrow we bless and become Biafra and Nigeria will still have a relationship. We will still meet in many places, in movies, in footballs, in sport, in many places. That is it. So you can't tell me, oh, because they shake their hands and after they walk in and blah blah, and that's because of that reason I will go and look at what they're telling me. That is absolute trash. That doesn't make sense. Can you tell me what comes about in Aburi Accord? Because you talk about history. Did you ever read about that?
Yeah, Farah, try to land.
What was? Let me land. I want to land, please. Let me land, please.
I said try to land your plane.
Yes, yeah, I want to land now, please. I haven't said anything. So allow me to say something. Okay? Allow me to say something, please.
I want brother. 1 more seconds, please. I want brother to tell me what comes about in Aburi Accord we stand. That was the beginning of the war. If you can tell me that. I don't have much things to tell you.
All right, thank you. Brother, you have 10 seconds to respond. 10 seconds.
All right, you see, this brother try very hard to be smart. Okay, brother, you come here, talk about Ugu. I don't know how you come every time did you like the name Ujuku, something like blah, blah, blah. No, brother. We are created in the image and likeness of God. We are all humans, so I must love you and I must see love for your brother what you love for yourself. That's the main reason, because I love you, but I don't want to see another war or another dead bodies of Igbos, another dead bodies of Nigerians just because of somebody's selfish interest. You want to see me?
Answer the question I gave you, please.
Let me answer you. Be patient.
Farah, stop interjecting, please. Stop interjecting.
Parabole. You see? So, Ojuku, because back then his father was so rich, he came from a rich family, he has
Brother, you have 10 seconds.
All right. So he moved from Kano down to his to the southeast, calling people to come back, leave their businesses. If you could remember back then in the south, he imposed, his soldiers rape women, men, and
all right, thank you, brother. Let me hold on. You have to say it. No, we don't want the conversation to be between two people, please. Okay, other people have been, hanging here, blinking their mics. They really want to.
All right, brother.
Don't worry, when the mics come to you.
Brother, please, when you come back, you have to make that point again, please, because I didn't get what you said. I really wanted to hear what you were saying.
Okay, when you come next, Mr. Daniel, are you there?
Yes, I am here, please. Thank you.
Yeah, please go on and make your submission, Mr. Daniel. You have 2 minutes.
I've been listening to everybody for like 2-3 hours, and you guys have been going back and forth. You guys have been going back and forth at each other. It's as if you guys know each other. Maybe the Igbo and the Hausa, I don't understand. But it's like you guys just want to fight each other at the clubhouse. So now I want to respond to Mr. Kelechuku, who said we should provide solution to the problem of Nigeria. So that is the main issue. I think for me in particular, personally, I think that's what we should be discussing. Not all of this back and forth that want to fight each other. And of course, this thing that happened in the past has happened. There's no going back. We cannot go back to them again. We have to move forward, like Modestus said earlier on. We have to move forward. There's no going back again. The people that have died, we cannot. Of course, it's painful to be told, but we cannot repeat the same mistake and expect that things will move forward. Now, for instance, how do we move forward is the question. Where do we go from here? Let us please stop this back and forth and what is the way forward? Abia people sitting there at home without voting. We need help. We need help on the 30th of October if they should declare independence. We need help. Will people die? So I've heard some IPOB members saying that we are ready to die, but you guys are saying that you guys are in America. You guys should come back to Nigeria and come and experience what these people are experiencing for you to be able to say that anybody is ready to die. People are suffering hell, and you are saying that people are ready to die. Die for where? People are ready to die for war. You are in America enjoying the cruise and the life, and you're talking about people that are in Nigeria that are suffering. If indeed you say you guys are ready to die, come back with your family. Come back with your family. Look, not just you alone. Come back with your child, with your wife, everybody, all of you. Come back to Nigeria. Come and die. Come and declare taxes. Come and die. No, don't stay in America and be saying. So this is it for as far as I'm concerned. The way forward is us getting involved in politics. If you want to go, as much as I don't want Biafra to go, want Nigeria. As far as, but if you truly want to go, as you said, we are bent on going. As has been said here, go to the right way. Go to the legitimate way. If you think that the people in the government are not representing you very well, get into the government, participate in government, so that when you get there, you make the law that will suit you. And from there, you can let Biafra go, and all of this. Don't allow people to die for nothing. Eventually, people will die, and then you will die, and people will be killed. You don't want people to be too tired on things that can be avoided for kind of loud. The same mistake that happened. The same mistake that happened in Biafra. I've watched a couple of videos. I'm young by the way, to be fair. But I've watched a couple of videos of the war, and it's disheartening how people died, how people had to, and it's still the same thing. And mind you, this whole problem is affecting.
Yeah, Daniel, try to land your plane.
Yes, I'll soon land my plane. This problem is facing every part of Nigeria is facing this problem, as we have said. Every part, the west, the north, everybody's facing this problem. Why not us just get involved? Election has been talked, and we have been talking about election, getting involved, voting. Why not talk to your people? They should vote, get involved, and then when you get there, we make sure that we bring the right people so that the best of us can rule the best of us, not that the worst of us will be ruling the best of us. All of this back and forth that are going will not change. By 30 years, is it until people keep dying? We keep people die. That's when you know that these things are wrong. I don't understand. If you're in abroad, if you're in America, as you see, I'm really angry to this. If you're in America, please don't come to here and be telling that Igbo people want to die for anything. If you want people to come back here with your family, with your husband, with your wife, come back here, come and die. If you cannot do that, please don't say that people are ready to die. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Daniel. That was a great submission.
Sorry.
Hold on. Who is that? Sorry, just a minute. Yeah, so I've seen you, Kelechiku. Don't worry. Farah has been blinking his mic, and then so they will speak before you speak. But then, even before they speak, you see, Daniel, thank you for the submission you made. I think I will add one or two things to that. You see, there's something important. I haven't been here for the past 2 hours, but I've been here for a little while, right? But I pay attention to what people are saying. That's why also your observation is right. Because when I came into the room, it was like as if it was a bus boost, between two tribes or two regions or whatever. But I don't really care about that. I really care about Nigeria. That's why I love what Kelechiku said at the point, right? And you just clarify that. And also, even before you made mention of, I mentioned something very important because, to me, I'm fine with the agitation. It's very cool with me, right? I don't really have issue if there is a Yoruba nation, a Biafra nation, or another Nigerian nation. I don't really care. I don't really mind. All I know is one way or the other, there will definitely be a way of me living a life, right? Okay, so it's cool with me. But then, what are the procedures? How do you put it? That is my problem because I don't understand why or whereby a situation whereby somebody is not at home and then you'll be calling for home to scatter. That is where I have problem because if we look a little bit backward of recent issues that happened, for example, Egypt, right? When they are having their own, revolution or whatever, you will see parents telling their kids that what are you doing at home? Come on, go out. Your colleagues are there, doing the right thing for the nation, trying to protest for the nation, and you are here inside my own house and you're sitting eating. Get out of my house. Just look at Sudan, right? As of today, there was a coup in Sudan, but the civilians are coming out. Parents, old people, everyone is getting out. In fact, foreigners that are living in United States, London, if you check back to 2019, 2020, what happened in Sudan, they all keep coming back home, they hold their passports in their hands. You see them protesting, saying that, yes, they are citizens of the country and they are back to come and protect the interest of the country. Even when military is shooting them, sending them, they will regroup, come back. That is how to struggle. But then I don't understand the logic behind staying far away from home and inciting, pushing people to tell them, on social media, different platforms. I'm sorry to say, I'm still trying to understand that because as somebody mentioned, it's not like, you see, this thing war, it's not good for me. I don't like it. That is the only problem I have. Because if war break out now, it will be another issue for me, right? So then I have to look at the other side. I have to think of, okay, what about for now, like as someone said, we are still in Nigeria, so they are still my brothers. As somebody mentioned, even if you have the Biafra nation or the Yoruba nation, at large, we are still Africans. And if you take it even at a bigger point, we are all human beings, even if we are not all Africans, we are definitely going to coexist as humans. So we are definitely going to sit on one table of bargain at some point in our life. So that is why I'm looking at it. Then why should these people suffer? Why should people die? Shouldn't it be better if it's done in maybe another way? I'm not dictating to anybody how to do his stuff or how to get his shit handled. But then, I mean, I'm just thinking of it that way. So it's not that hard for me to think about. It's that simple for me to think about. Thank you very much. You can go on, please. Yeah, Chi, are you there?
Oh, is that me?
Yeah, you can go and then Kelechiku will go on.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Before Farah takes over.
Yeah, I kind of share the same sentiment as Daniel said. For me personally, I don't care if whatever you want to do. If you want to go by yourself, separate yourself. To a certain extent, I agree. If people want to leave, they should be allowed to leave. Nobody should stop them. But at the same time, we have to look at it from the perspective of if you want to leave, you want to self-govern, don't start by showing us how destructive you're going to be. You should show us some constructive processes, that you plan to put in place. Number one, you always say sit at home, sit at home. It's easy to say sit at home. People sit at home, but you're forcing people who literally are selling pepper in the market, are selling meat in the market to live their way of life.
Thank you.
You can't force. You're not supposed to force that. You have to explain it to them with reason. That hey, if we get this at the end of the day, this is what you're gonna benefit from it. But these people also have to send their kids to school. They have to eat food on their own table. And, you shouldn't force it on them. It's not fair on them. That's just my own position on this sit at home thing. It's not fair. People that are declaring to sit at home, they have money. They have a means of getting by. The children are probably not in the country. Well, you have to think about all these poor people. You know how many people in Nigeria are living below the poverty line, and you still want to force them to not go out there and look for the way of life for them to live. That is not fair. Have you even thought of that at all? Is that the kind of government you're gonna, exhibit once you get your country? I think you have to be constructive when you do things. And another thing is you say people should not go vote. Well, don't go vote, but I promise you, their leaders, they're gonna rape you guys. They're gonna install wherever they want to install there. It's at the end of the day, it doesn't help you. I've always said, if you guys want to be constructive about this, what is wrong in putting up Nnamdi Kanu or another person who's pro Biafra? This is Anambra is like in the center of Igbo land, up there, and electing him. That guy becomes your mouthpiece. Whenever he goes to the governor's forum or whenever he's a governor. When he talks, people are gonna listen. He controls the resources of the whole state. Why don't you put somebody there that can help? That way, you have someone in power who support your agenda. Not by forcing people to do what they don't want to do. I agree with you. Nigeria is not working, but what am I doing? I don't live in Nigeria, but what am I doing about it? I'm from Osun State. I know that election is coming up. I don't agree with PDP or APC's agenda, but you know what I'm doing? I'm supporting a third party. How am I supporting a third party? I know I'm probably not going to be able to vote, but I'm supporting my candidate with donations. I'm volunteering my time to help his campaign. Or in terms of reaching out to people. So why don't you guys think like, you know what, Nigeria is not working, let's do something different. If we talk about voting a third party, people are going to be saying, oh, there's not enough people to vote third party. But there's enough people, it's just we don't believe in ourselves. If every youth in Nigeria today decide to vote a different candidate than the APC and PDP, that person is going to win, because we have majority youth population currently in Nigeria. The only way forward is to find constructive solutions, positive solutions, not destructive ones. If we decide to boycott elections, somebody's going to win at the end of the day, and that person is going to be governor in control of the resources of your state. You can have Biafra, but at least let's go
I think I can't dictate to you, but I think you shouldn't go about it in a destructive way, taking food off of people who are already poor. And a lot of people that are at the helm of this are abroad, working. You know that if you go to work, you're gonna get paid in where you are. But these people, if they don't go to work, they're not gonna get paid. Even if they go to work, they might not get paid. But telling them to stay at home, kind of like it's a double jeopardy, like killing them. People need to consider that, and that's just my submission.
All right, thank you very much, T. That's a wonderful submission. Secondly, Chuku, you there?
Hey, good evening again. When brother was speaking, something just came into my mind when he was talking about the Biafran war. I saw another fundamental problem. Nobody tells these stories. There is no history. Nobody discusses this. That is a very big wound that people are still carrying till forever. And no one wants to discuss it. And someone like brother will tell his story. Someone like me will tell another story based on what I read. Another person from another place will read and then tell his own story. I wrote somewhere sometime that there was never a country. History is not even in our syllabus. So how do we correct the wrongs of the past if we can't tell the real and the right stories? How do we correct this? Now, I want to shock you also that when you go down to travel to the east, you will discover that majority of the people that sit at home on Mondays are not forced to sit down at home. That is one fact you can take to the bank. One is that we allowed things to linger for a long time. People saw one person that they looked as, oh, this is our savior, and they believed him. They could be wrong, they could be right, but it's all the system. People have called for restructuring, nobody talks about it. People call for constitutional review, nobody wants to agree. Our problem is none of us. Our problem is none of these people here. Our problem is even none of the people protesting. Our problem is the political elite in Nigeria. Until we tell them the truth, things will not change. Look at the way things are going. That's just the truth. Why is it difficult to talk about the restructuring? If we can't talk about restructuring, why can't we talk about political review? How do you go out and vote in a system you don't believe in? You don't even believe that your vote is going to count. How do you go out to vote? I was at the polling unit. These guys came and started hauling bottles at us. We had to run away. Then tomorrow you want me to go again. And that polling unit was declared. Somebody won. You want me to go out again? And when you talk, someone will say you are doing the wrong thing. How do we get the right thing? Nigeria is not working. People should come out. During the Jonathan era, I was in the office, I was campaigning for a boycott of the elections. Let's say something with one mind and let these people know that we do not believe in this system. We want a system that is working. The little government I know tells me that I have little right to defend myself, and you just came overnight and asked me to give you that right that you protect me. I gave you the right. Now you took my right, you took everything. You also withhold my protection. How do you expect me to live? Let's tell the government the truth. And the earlier we know that this is not about tribe, the better for us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Kelechi. That was a good one. Farah, you go on, then Modestus, then Daniel again. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I always smile whenever I come to speak, just for one reason, and that reason is
about the way we just bring in things here. Firstly, I don't want to go back to what I was speaking before. So let me just conclude. Kelechi Liri spoke a lot of things I wanted to talk about. And I also want to mention that brother did not answer my question, so that may be tomorrow, so I don't want to go there. So my brother Daniel and the T, I think, is out. I want to just tell you something. I understand the way you're coming from when you say people outside the country instigating war or trying to make people believe or force them to do what why they are still abroad. You see, if you really followed what is happening or what has been happening in Nigeria between IPOB and the country, you will understand when they started. Every one of them was inside. People abroad doesn't even know what is going on. It was people here that started all these things. It was people in the country. Nobody has ever staged protests outside the country before. The first protest was in Nigeria. It was IPOB. It was from here they then begin to gather people around there. People begin to say, okay, our people back home are this. Let us begin to gather ourselves here. You understand? So they have done those protests. They killed them. So what do you want them to do? To come out again and protest? No. Things are being put down. And if you don't know about that, just relax. You understand? We know that it's not easy for people to just sit at home. But like Kelechi said, I am not just living outside. I'm always in the country because I'm a businessman. So next week I can be here. The other week I can be in Lagos. So that's it. So when I want to travel, I will make sure that this date is a suitable day to travel to the east. You know, do you also remember that the IPOB leadership has suspended the every Monday sit at home? Yet, people are still sitting at home. Not because of threat or anything. I've gone to the east and I've seen it. People just joyfully sit at home, even laugh. I say, oh, it's very good, let us to rest. It's on their own. Anybody you see outside telling you, oh, we are suffering, it's just a paid people. As simple as that. You might not understand it. It's just people that just gather, they will give them money, go out to the street and say, oh, you don't like this at home. They are trying to do all these things to just, cover up some issues or whatever. I don't even think we should be discussing about IPOB, sit at home, Biafra. On this very place, we should be talking about Nigerian. How does it go well? Just like Kelechi said before, how does it go well? The IPOB issues are for the IPOBians. They do their things the way they must have people protesting. You must have people doing buzz. You must have them. And it's their right to do so. So why is it paining some people that, oh, these people want to go? Why is it hurting you? Why? It's their own right. If they say, oh, I don't want to be in Nigeria, it's very simple. I have more than 100 Hausa friends, Fulanis on social media, Twitter and Facebook. They will come and say, look, I want the Biafrans to go. They are Hausas. They are Fulanis. Okay? So they still have Nigerians who say, oh, I want this country to divide. As simple as that. So you can't come in with your own idea and tell someone that, oh, what you're doing is bad. Let us understand this. Please. So back to my brother Daniel. You talk about coming up to go and vote and go there, change it doesn't work, my brother. It can't work, especially in this kind of country called Nigeria, where even you are voting, you don't even know if it's counting. Somebody will begin to argue me now, oh, don't you know it's counting? Many votes in Nigeria doesn't count. After many things all done under the sun, whatever, they manipulate whatever they want to do. Just look at Imo State's election. Every one of us saw that. The APC was at fault, and somebody here will still argue that yes, he is the person to be there. They do all they did and install the of them are there. Can't you imagine that? Let's stop all this. If we are really for one Nigeria or to make it good, if you are really, because as for me, I'm not coming for one Nigeria over my dead body, because Nigeria will never work. Yes, I stand, like my brother said, he don't even really want it. No matter what, even if Nigeria become London tomorrow, I am still standing for Biafra, no matter what. Because there was a country, and that country must come to pass. So my brothers and sisters and Nigerians, and also supporters of our Biafra, whatever we do, let us be straightforward. Tell yourself true. Be sincere to yourself. Ask yourself, how do I move this forward? Organize people. Tell them your ideology. Let them follow you. If you are doing well, it's very nice. If you are making Nigeria proud and I'm making Biafra proud, it doesn't cost us anything. At the end, we hug ourselves and it's okay. Let us stop fighting about every day we come here to speak about Biafra and the IPOB. Why Nigeria has issues running? People are dying in the north every day. I don't even see that kind of discussions here. I'm talking about IPOB, Sister Chum, and so many of them. Hey, let someone go on and take this. Thank you.
All right, thank you for Daniel. Sorry, Modestus, right? Am I right? Modestus, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Since you have blinked your mic, am I right?
Yeah, I'm here. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, but you sound so low. If you could
Okay, sorry.
Okay, Chidubem, after Daniel, you go. Yeah, Modestus, go on.
Okay. Yeah, the one of the problems I have with the issue of the sit at home or the way forward. I've studied countries. I've studied how politics work. I've studied the political economy of countries. We have issues in Nigeria, like the last speaker rightly said. We have knowledge gap. There is a massive knowledge gap in that country. And Nigerian problems are not too many, like people think. The problem we have is the lack of intelligence. That's where the problem comes. There is a disconnect between our politics and the economy of the country. Those we have in power, or those who are from our universities, are not able to produce the economic model that can move that country forward. And as a result of that, the politics is always the way out. And the Nigerians, wherever you see them, they talk about politics. They have always invested heavily in politics, in their discussions, in the way, in the emotions and everything. While many countries, the developed world that they want to emulate, don't talk politics, they talk economics. We have an economy. I always told this line, we have an economy that is, if oil is 80% of our economy, and it's totally removed from our own main economy. You can't find any of the oil majors in the Nigerian Stock Exchange. If I ask people on this forum, if they know the budget of ExxonMobil in Akwa Ibom, many Akwa Ibom people don't even know. But that is the mainstay of that economy. The same thing applies to Shell. The same thing applies to ExxonMobil. The same thing applies to Conoco Gas. The same thing applies to ELF, to Texaco ELF. And when you remove 80% of your economy, even the Nigerian liquefied natural gas is not listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. The NPC is not listed there. So Nigerians are not participating in their economy. And that is the very big thing that if anybody that is on this forum today can also go out and think about. You can't have 80% of your economy outside your main economy. What I mean by main economy is like you have in America, there is Wall Street and there is Main Street. In England, you have the London Stock Exchange. They allocate capital to every sectors of the economy. But in Nigeria, it's disconnected. So no matter the kind of politics you play, even if you put a cent there in Abuja, he is going to be working with only 20% of the economy. Because the 80% is not there. And many people don't really realize that. They think that it's the politicians. Well, it is them because they have not been able to formulate a policy, find a way to bring the whole economy of the country. Nigeria is the only country among the oil producing countries. Go to Saudi Arabia, they have Saudi Aramco. The valuation today is about $2 to $3 trillion. Go to the Gulf countries, Qatar Oil, they control everything. Go to Brazil, they have Petrobras. You go to Malaysia, they have Petronas. Every country in the world. And these economies are listed in their stock exchange so that it will boost the overall GDP of the country. You come to Nigeria, we'll have a weird system. I've studied economics, I can't find anything that is comparable to it. There's none. So they left us and the young people we're having and the major ethnic groups in Nigeria, all of us, struggling with peanuts because the whole of our economy is outside our economy. And it's a shame that instead of looking for discussions that will focus on how do we redirect that, how do we bring that, I've looked at it critically. I've evaluated it with people who think, those who actually understand how these things work. Trust me, you can't do it as a small country. If a large country like Nigeria didn't do it. When I spoke earlier on, I made mention of the Chinese bank, the two of them. People can Google it and look at their market cap. They run the economy. You go to South Korea, Hyundai and Samsung practically lifted South Korea from a very, very poor country to a first world country. The same thing all over, all over the developed world. In Nigeria, we have a weird system whereby the biggest bank, even if you combine all the banks in Nigeria, combine all of them and denominate over the dollar, they're not even up to $1 trillion. They're not even up to $100 billion. All of them combined. And then we want them to fund our economy. We want them to be able to manage our resources. We have states that have budget that primary schools in developed world use. The same budget of Imo State. 120 billion naira, not even up to 100 million. And that's how you can use to develop the state and build world-class institutions. But our discussions are, because of that, because people are not discussing the things that matters, we are now left trying to fight each other, thinking about how if we leave tomorrow, then we'll move into Eldorado. And we'll start fighting each other because of that. Dangote built a refinery in Lagos. Did any Nigerian bank finance it? It's $13 billion. There's no Nigerian bank that can finance that infrastructure. Liquefied natural gas. Did any Nigerian bank finance it? Because they can't even fund it. How much is their capital base? People need to start thinking, how do we change this narrative so that we can tell our politicians, it's not about the election. You can vote whoever you want. It's not even about the constitution. You can have all manner of constitution. It will not change poverty. People need to begin to realize where the main problem is. The main problem is our economy is not in our hands. We can't have productive capital with the system we have. There's no way you'll be able to remove yourself from poverty. Like for people in the north, I don't want to respond to brothers because sometimes I found him a little bit disingenuous. I don't know. I know he's trying to frame some kind of narrative. The problem of Ojukwu coming back and having a handshake with Gowon was a time of condition for his coming back from exile. He had properties before then. He joined MPN as well. He didn't join MPP. He joined MPN. He did that for personal reasons. If you want to know the reason for those pictures, Gowon negotiated that with Shagari as a condition for him coming back. If you want it to be spelled out in literary form, that is that picture you see. I hope maybe you can drop that. There are intelligent people in this forum. He negotiated that, and that was the condition of him coming back, so that he can be able to get some of his father's properties, because Ojukwu's dad was a millionaire before the Nigerian Civil War. So he has properties all across the country. And he wanted that on his return. If you want a very good historical account of that, that is that for you. So those pictures you see, and the picture, the handshake you see, wasn't a drop that maybe he was wrong about Biafra. After all, Ojukwu didn't even start Biafra. The Nigerian Civil War and the protagonists of those wars got across the whole South. Ifajuna, Zogu, Effiong, they were all. Obasanjo was the second mechanized brigade commander that killed more Igbos than any other human being in that country. but he was the president of Nigeria. The Igbos did not remember that. So if you want historical facts, I can give you facts. But that is not the main issue. The main issue is I have studied, I have left the country, I stayed there for many years, I studied Nigeria, I studied the issues. The main issue that our people, some of you here, if you have any influence, start asking those questions to those who formulate our economic policy. Say, why is this thing so and how can it be rectified? So that the young people we have, in whatever form they are, but trust me, the truth about it is that the Hausa boy in Sokoto State, the Hausa boy in Kano State, he needs to have hope. That is the issue. The Hausa boy, the Igbo boy in the South, the one in Akwa Ibom, the one in Niger Delta, the one in the Middle Belt, they need to have hope, just like every other young boy across Europe. It might not be, it doesn't necessarily matter the kind of politics is there. They need to have hope that when they graduate, they will get a job. And they'll be able to have a car at 18, and they'll be able to get married at 20 or 25, and they're able to live out their life and have a retirement. It is not a very big thing to hope for. But in this current status that we have now, is it possible? Is anybody even thinking about it? Is there a vision for that? That is where people should be thinking. And I think it's already getting late. I need to probably thank everybody because I've listened. And thank everybody that have listened to me. I'll probably take a leave in a minute because I have to go to work tomorrow. Thank you so much. I do appreciate this opportunity. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.